I want to talk a little bit about atmosphere. Um, Atmosphere is often misunderstood, and actors don't bring atmosphere into the scene. You have to understand the atmosphere is already there. This is especially important when you go to auditions, or these days you do your self-tape audition. You have to understand the atmosphere that your character is in or going into. So what is atmosphere? Quick, brief, overall. I know not a lot of people like to watch long videos, and I've got a lot to do today. So here we go. Think about atmosphere in this way. You're at a party. What's the atmosphere? Everybody's happy and cheerful, and they're listening to music and doing whatever people do at parties. And suddenly the door is kicked open, and a bunch of bad guys come running in the room. What happened to the atmosphere? Is it still happy and cheerful? Are you in a cheerful atmosphere? I don't think so. What if there's a knock at the door in that party, and a woman comes to the door and says she's been in an accident and her family needs help? What happened to the atmosphere? Now compare that to you go into a cathedral. What's the atmosphere in that cathedral? What's it smell like? What's it feel like? When you walk in the door of that cathedral, the atmosphere changes from the outside chaos of the world into the atmosphere of that cathedral. How can you take the way you would perform, your character would react to the atmosphere at a party? You can't take that and put it in a cathedral. You have to be aware of the atmosphere. So when you go into audition, you should walk through the door of that office, or when you start to self-tape, making sure that the body type, the center, the psychological gesture, that character that you've built understands the atmosphere. You have to understand the atmosphere. You have to have worked on different atmospheres, so when you read the scene, understand what the atmosphere of that scene, of that moment is, and put your character into that atmosphere. Understand you don't carry the atmosphere with you. You just have to understand what it's going to be. And to do that, well, we'll talk about that in depth in future videos. Join me on Patreon to see some of the in-depth videos. I've made my Patreon page quite affordable because I want to spend time working on these lessons, and I want as many people as possible to be able to take advantage of it. My goal in life now is to not deal with that gnat that just flew by. See you guys later. Join me on Patreon. Subscribe and like. It helps. Thanks.